Hello everyone, welcome to Car Stories where we talk about everything cars. I'm Tobi Ekishola and you're with me, Segun. Segun, how was your week?
Welcome back, everyone. My week was great, but it could be better. It was great, but it could be better.
Yeah, that's cool.
Have you been to?
Well, for me, it's been good. I'm just glad no car troubles. Everything has been good the way it's meant to be. The week has been lovely, boy. A lot of things have been going on online.
A lot of dance boots.
Yes,
dragging one
exactly.
I had car troubles, but I don't want to.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
You're going into details.
I don't go into details. All right, no problem. But I'm sure you'll sort it out. You'll sort it out. You're the man.
If you say so.
Yeah. This week there was a lady that was dragging one car dealer because she got a Mercedes-Benz from me, and apparently was accidented, like an accidental vehicle. Did I heard about it?
I saw that video, a clip of that story briefly, and all I could get from it was, seems she paid for maybe a clean title, and then she got a badly salvaged car. And this is something we see all the time. We hear of these things all the time. But for me, I think in as much as you trust your dealer, you can just spend max. I mean, even if you spend 1 million naira on doing due diligence on a car, it's not too much as far as I'm concerned. But you don't even have to spend that. Sometimes you might be lucky that the information about that particular car is out there online. And then in the case where it's not out there online, you can easily just say, okay, spend maybe, cut the fax is maybe $7 now or thereabout, I'm not sure. Get the VIN of the car and put it there. You will see everything that can be seen.
Yeah, including pictures.
Including pictures till when maybe they stopped getting record. At least anything that was reported wherever the car was coming from, you see it. So I feel whoever was buying that car, maybe the lady should have done some due diligence, but also there's a thing of trust, there's a thing of friendship. Now my guy now he won't sell that car, and then before you know what's happening, you credit your guy, and then your guy slides you and all of that. I'm sure she wouldn't have even known if maybe that vehicle was properly restored.
Yeah.
Because I tell people 90% of the cars in Nigeria are salvage cars.
I agree.
And a lot of us will not be able to buy cars if those salvage cars were not allowed to come into the country. Because trust me, the cost of a clean title is not beans. Have it at the back of your mind. But why save somebody a salvage title when they paid for a clean title? There's already a problem there. That's already showing that. It's a different case if maybe you actually paid, you got a clean title, but alongside delivery or something happened. I've seen cases where a car fell off in the container or that we can understand. But you actually bought a clean title and then that's what you were going to deliver. And I also tell people too, as a customer, if a car is too good, too cheap,
yeah,
there's something missing. It's too good to be true. If it's too cheap, it's too good to be true. Take it from me. Once it's too cheap, just know that something somewhere is
something fishy,
reducing that value. That's why it's that cheap. It might even be flawed. It might be unrecorded salvage, because I've seen cars that are salvage, but whoever bought them did not know that they were salvage because they were so properly done. If Arab guys should fix car for you, or some guys in Yankee should fix cars for you, okay, see my car, I'm strong.
Yeah, exactly.
All these cars, most of them are salvage cars.
Yeah.
But he fixes it to the teeth. Like, he doesn't joke with everything. He buys everything the way he's supposed to buy. If it's frame, he buys it from where you're supposed to join it and replace it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't cut corners.
It doesn't cut corners. So if that kind of person fixes a car for you and you bring it to Nigeria, it's clean title, they'll be calling it. It's only those that know, that, or maybe somebody that went to actually check the history of that car that will say,
they'll be able to tell.
And trust me, he's just one of the good people. There are tons of good guys out there, both in Nigeria and abroad, that fix cars very well. So you need to understand these things. If you want to buy a car, do your due diligence. If you're buying a clean title, buy a clean title. If you want to buy a salvage, know within yourself that you're buying a salvage. Me personally, there's no one that is not bad. You can buy clean, you can buy salvage. As far as you buy a car, that is okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, depending on your pocket.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you. First of all, if you get a deal that is too good to be true, you have to check it twice, because you might think you have gotten a deal, but at the end of the day, it's a deal that will deal with you. So you think that, yes, you are smart. You've been able to price your way around it. So that's one thing that I agree with you on. Another thing, again, I also agree with you on is, checking the cars. So the thing is, for the viewers out there, most of them might really not even know what to check. Yes, we'll tell them to go check the car, but they don't know what to even check. And there's something called VIN. Yeah. That's a vehicle identification number. And usually I know on the outside there are 2 places that you can actually see it. Or in fact 3 places you can actually see it. So I know on the door pillar by the driver's side, you can see the written there. On the windshield on the inside, you write it there. Then also when you raise the bonnet up, the chassis is on the frame, they write it there too. So those are places that people can actually look at, identify it. Then like once you are trying to buy a car, you're asking someone for the VIN, and the person is saying what they want to use VIN to do. Just move. Like there are so many cars out there. If it's for you to add another extra one name to get a better car to it, just do that. You save yourself some stress. Like I remember taking me back. This was like 2020, 2021. So a friend of mine reached out and wanted me to get a Camry for him. That was the 2013 Camry red. And a nice car, but again, money not to choke like that, but again. So I remember back then I was seeing for 3.5. Like imagine 3.5. Now that car you cannot even get it for.
And then yourself is not buying it.
Exactly, you can't buy it. But I was seeing for 3.5, but my guy, I think it was like 3 million they had then. So I was able to actually get one for 3 million. The engine was good, fantastic. But it was a little too late when I found out that after getting it, because one thing I will check about cars first is most particular about the engine and the gearbox. And that was perfect. Like the car was perfect. But back then, also, you learn by experience. When we needed to now do some work, after buying it, I think we wanted to change the color from, I think, red to silver. So one of the two. Either it was silver and we changed to red, one of the two. And then we took it to, what's his name? Autodoc.
Okay.
Yeah, and we took it to him. And when they took it to him, stripped the car, and they found out that the car has actually been accidented. It has actually rolled, a car that was rolled, and there was a lot of filler and all of that here and there. But again, what we just used to console ourselves was that the engine is still okay. And so he also now helped out, did what he could do to ensure that the car was in perfect shape, not just painting it, and he did a good job. And at the end of the day, like you said, it's very, very important to, if you're getting an accidented car, personally that you're getting it, then you also have to look for people that actually would do the right thing. Because I've heard of situation whereby an accidented car that they worked on, clean on the inside, clean on the outside, another accident happens, no airbag.
That's a very common thing.
Right? It's crazy.
I've seen where airbag, you can fix a bag for any car easily.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've seen where people will just say, "Oh, I know they fix this airbag. I beg, plug the light." Especially for those cars that will not write check SRS system. Yeah. That's just the light. Where the dealers are blocking it. But that airbag can actually save somebody's life.
Yes, exactly.
Like, it's just there. And for me, it's the least thing to compromise on, because how much is it going to cost you? Depending on damage, maybe 300k or 400k max. So what is it exactly that is not making you fix it?
Yeah.
Is it that you don't have good technicians to fix it, or you don't know where to go, or you just want to cut corners? But that's also on wherever the seller is.
Yes.
But I also tell people something about cars. Back in the days, the mentality was, when you want to go and buy a car, check engine, whether it's good, check first body, whether it's okay, check gear. Me personally, I don't mind buying a car with a bad engine or a bad transmission, but then the body is clean, no rust, no damage, no impact. You can replace engine, you can replace transmission, but can you really replace the body
of the car?
For me, once you start doing that, then what are we doing? We might as well just buy another car. I've seen cases where somebody will crash their car, then they'll find maybe carcass or chassis and then transplant to it. Yeah. But to me, if the body is good, other things can be replaced. If the structural integrity is there, other things can be replaced or fixed. So the catch here is avoid looking for extra sweet deals, because those extra sweet deals come to bite you in the ass. See how a car was going for 3.5 million and you got it for 3 million. Something makes up for that 500k difference. Yeah. The seller needs to make profit. So how does he want to mark up that 500k if he himself did not cut corners or get it excessively cheap? So those are the questions. Now back to that lady that said that the dealer sold salvage and this. I don't know how much she paid. I didn't really go into details. But the question is, the money she paid, was it really enough to get a clean title Benz? Mm-hmm. Yes, you might say a clean title Benz cost XYZ, maybe 5 million naira or 10 million naira more than the salvage title. But really, can that money really buy a clean title Benz off the showroom? I know places where I can get clean title vehicles. They are not cheap. And they might be cheaper than a showroom price. Mm-hmm. But looking at it, can you really confirm that, okay, this money that I paid for XYZ is going to actually get me a clean title if I walked into the showroom today in the US or in Europe? So those are the mistakes that a lot of us make. And that's what still brings us back to, if it's too good to be true, then it is a bad deal. Yeah. Because, come on, it's not like the seller is stupid. It's not like the manufacturer is foolish. So those are the questions that need to be asked.
Yeah. And also, like you also mentioned, it's not even just about accidented cars. Sometimes you get cars that are flooded and people don't know that this car has actually been flooded. And after a while, you see that the chassis start rusting, you start having electrical issues here and there. Like, if there's one thing I've learned about flooded cars, once you get there, just go under the car, just try your best to look and if possible to, when you're inside the car, the carpets, look at it, because one thing about water will always leave mark.
I'll tell you something. I know some people that will disagree with you with this thing that you just said about flooded cars, and they will disagree with you from personal experience. I'm not saying so. Now, if it's okay if you want to buy a salvage title, whereas the description is flood, but what kind of flood are you buying? Are you buying freshwater flood or salt flood? Now, if you buy a car that is freshwater flood and maybe the flood line is low, because most sellers indicate the flood line. Yeah. However, they might be truthful, they might choose to be truthful, or they might choose to be lying. But if they buy a low flood, freshwater flood, all that car needs is drying 90% of the time. Actually, if it's like maybe a Toyota, a Lexus, the worst case is maybe you change blind spot module that's under the seat and amplifier. Worst case scenario.
Actually, yeah.
But if you now go and buy a flooded BMW or a flooded E-Class, bro, what are you thinking? So before you buy a flooded car, you need to understand the structure of the car. You need to understand the level of flood that you are buying. So if it's a flooded car and it's a low vehicle, a sedan, you look at the level of the flood. Look at that car, look at the things that are on the floor, or the things that water can easily get to. Worst case scenario, fuse box, SRS module that is in between the center console, and maybe there's an amplifier down somewhere or something. If you can compromise or compare the cost and it's not bad, you can buy it. But when you start buying flooded vehicles that water even enter the transmission, water enter the engine, water enter the fuse box, everything inside. I saw one flooded Highlander and I looked up and the button that you're supposed to use to turn on the headlight, the roof light, had brown water inside. And I'm like, nah, this is a mess. Why would this guy buy this? And the bad part about that particular radar was it was flooded, it was salvaged, and it was hybrid. How will you buy a hybrid car that is flooded? You just want to kill yourself because there's water. The battery is down in the back.
Yeah.
All water needs is to get to it. And now the killer was salt water flood. And I told these guys, I said, I advise you guys to sell this car in pieces. The good parts, sell it out and count your losses because you also got it for a steal. The guy said no. Guess what they did? They said we go convert them. You know, that's the thing about Nigerian mechanics and electricians. They start to believe themselves in funny, crazy things that I feel doesn't even make sense. You converting a car from hybrid to normal means you changing the entire wire harness of that car. You changing maybe the entire gearbox. The engine might be the same thing, you know. And they started this thing. They got it right. Engine worked. They got gearbox. They got brain box, wire harness. But there was just something. That car was never the same. No matter how much
it
tried, it was never the same. After they finished, now started with things like seats getting stuck because the electricals were stored. Bro, it was just spending. And at the end of the day, guess what happened?
You had to sell it.
They abandoned that project because it became overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because there was one time that they would say some of the wheels cannot roll because it's rusted. And I'm like, didn't I tell you guys? So sometimes it's always good to compromise and look at, okay, if I buy this thing, is it worth it? If I don't buy it, am I better off? So that's what it is. And it still boils down to what we've been talking about. Your budget as a human being, like Moses said on the last episode, if somebody comes and says they want to buy a car of 10 million and they have 10 million, if we tell them to buy a car of 6, so those things still have a long way to play in all these things. Yeah, we all want to drive nice cars. I want to drive a nice Range Rover. I want to drive a nice BMW here and there. But I look at my pocket, bro. If it's too much for me to bear, I'd rather go for something lower. It still give me a nice feel. Then when I have more money, I can upgrade. Then I'll go and buy that high thing that is going to kill me. I'll go and buy an S-Class, a flooded S-Class. Come on. What are we trying to deceive?
Yeah.
Because I'm surely going to be playing in the mechanics workshop. I won't get the best out of that S-Class. S-Class on its own is crazy. Then you now go and buy a flooded one. If you even buy a salvage one that is not so bad, fine. You might even enjoy it more. But why you go and buy a flooded one? Which some people don't know. A lot of people don't know. They just say, I got that S-Class for cheap. And then they buy it. I've seen cases where somebody's car is stressing the owner. The car is stressing the owner. Is stressing the owner. And then Baba will just sell it for cheap. One guy, I think he hit jackpot. Then you start video people problems. Whereas that thing that might also be stressing the owner might just be one thing. And then they fix it and it's totally good.
Yeah.
I've seen both cases. 50-50.
That. Because I remember, saying that.
90% of the time, that thing that is biting you now will still bite you. Just don't. So we just all need to be careful with these things.
Yeah. I mean, that the part of, I've seen that. I know someone that sold his X5 because the car was giving him issues. Like, it misfire here and there, all of that. So the guy changed the plugs, changed the coil, still the same thing. OEM plugs, coil. So he sold it very cheap. And the other person that now bought it, that one is also a mechanic. But the other one was not really a mechanic. Also, this DIY guys that we can just run on myself. So the mechanic guy does pull, okay, it's in the misfire, so he started checking. He removed the cover. So when he was checking the coil one by one, he found out that one of the coil was not screwed.
And that was the problem.
As he bolted it like this.
Okay, let me give
car does the fire.
Let me give you an personal experience with that 5 Series that I had. So, I mean, I wanted to get the car sold, and then sometimes if we park it for days, you try to start it, this thing did not just start. And I'm like, what's wrong? I haven't sent it to Autocraft. I called 40s. I spoke to Rode about it. We all brainstormed, did this, changed this. And then whenever you scan it, it used to throw one particular error code, high pressure fuel pump malfunction. I bought we used high pressure pumps and 2 brand new ones. That's 5. And yet, this car was not working and it was throwing this high pressure pump code. What's going on with this thing? I'm like, this car cannot talk. Like, it can't be smarter than tons of people that I've called. I even called Starboy one day that see this. I'm like, what's going on now? With cars sometimes when you get frustrated, just go back, go and relax, and come back. So I went and I said, okay, remove this high pressure fuel pump. Let's buy another one. Let's check that there's power getting to the sockets, right? Confirm power is getting to it. Bro, do you know that when we removed it, the main problem that we had was when we were removing the very first high pressure fuel pump, there's a cup that covers the spring in there. It came out with that high pressure fuel pump. No one ever checked. No one ever knew. No one ever paid attention to it. But I was like, am I supposed to be seeing was inside here like this? And then I'm like, no, there's supposed to be something, if I remember very well. Okay, what do we do? So luckily for me, I just said, let me even look at the other pumps that I bought. Let's even test each one of them because I don't want to believe that all these brand new parts are bad. And mind you, on the very first one, I noticed that the look of that particular one was different from the other one. Why is this one different? Okay, let's go and try and buy this type. In the process, I found out that cup there was removable.
Oh, and people have removed it.
And then I just removed it and put it on one of the brand new ones that I had. And bro, this light
just went.
It went off. But I knew that I'm not supposed to be looking in that hole. I'm seeing the camshaft. There's supposed to be something. But I wasn't just sure what it was. But the moment I saw that high pressure fuel pump, the very first one, and that thing came out with it. Which is even strange. I don't know how that happened, but that one is not. Bro, I kid you not. Every other high pressure fuel pump that I removed from that car, except the initial one that was bad, every other one was working. But you can imagine how far it got. Yeah. But because I was relentless, and I was like, nah, I won't give up on this car. So sometimes people need to apply that when they are fixing cars. Say, I'm not going to give up, whatever it is that's wrong with it. Mind you, I was spending money. Those things are not cheap.
You're definitely going to spend money.
They are not cheap.
Spend money.
But I just had to get to the bottom of it because it was becoming, so you cannot fix this thing. Is this car smarter than you? But I suffered though. I went through pains. Imagine Autocraft telling me, oh, let's change spark plugs because the spark plugs are not good sometimes. We tried everything. We did it. In fact, when you first work on it, it's work like it's normal. And maybe after a long drive or maybe 2 days or 3 days, it just starts again. So in that kind of case, now imagine that I was sold to an outsider. And first day the guy buys it, car is working well. Second day is working. In fact, maybe for the first 1 week it's working well. Then all of a sudden it's just crazy. What do you want to say? Then they'll come back to you. In that kind of case, they'll come back to me as dealer and say, bro, you sold us a bad car, you sold us a car with a bad engine, blah, blah, blah. But in the actual sense of it, that wasn't the case. Because maybe I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even have an idea. So, like I said, always do your due diligence as a buyer and a seller. Now, I was doing mine as from the end of the seller because I wanted to sell that car so bad. So, if a buyer comes and says, okay, he wants to check XYZ. Now, if he checks, if I'd done my due diligence, I felt I'd fixed it to the point I could. Buyer came, checked it, he was okay with it. If something happens along the line, they start having issues, he will know that he did his due diligence. It wasn't like I just pushed the car to him.
Yeah, exactly.
So those things too are very, very key. Because, like you said, if somebody starts to ask you for a VIN and then you are saying, I don't share my VIN, okay, run. Just run for your life.
I've had those cases before.
Yeah, it has happened to me before. I'll say, share the VIN of the car. Let me see what I want to come and inspect. Because
it change out for me.
I don't want to drive all the way to your lot. Then come and get there and find out that it's a car that has stumbled that I'm coming to see. They'll say, no, I don't share VIN. And I'm like, what are you on about? Even the place you bought it from, the VIN is in a public place. So what are you saying?
Like, I even remember early last year when someone reached out to me, said she wanted a brand new car. It was a company I wanted to buy for, and I was looking for a brand new car. I went to see one Mitsubishi, what's it called?
Sir.
No, it's not Lance. The bigger one.
Lance.
No, it's trying to remember Mitsubishi, Pajero. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
the
it,
SUV.
Pajero.
Oh,
The
okay.
SUV, Pajero. So I went there and I saw it. They said, brand new, brand new. I was like, okay, fine. Give me VIN. The guy actually sent me the VIN. So the person that even gave me the VIN, he's not even the owner of the car. He's his guy that owns the car. I put VIN.
Might not say anything for that car.
I saw the car I wanted to buy is black. I saw a silver Pajero. What's happened? Why am I seeing silver? You said this car is brand new. Why is it bringing a different picture when I'm checking this thing? And it was not just in one place. It was two places I was seeing.
Something was going
I was like, I told the guy said, no, maybe a mistake from there. I just told the guy that no, while I'll get back to him. He kept on calling me. I didn't respond to him. I just went somewhere else because it didn't make any sense. Why am I buying a black car and I'm seeing a silver color car?
It's even
And the interior is even different.
If you tell me, oh, we change the color, I'm like, okay, fine. But once I'm seeing all these funny things, bro, I'm running.
The guy was like, okay, you know what, don't worry, just leave that one. We have another one, we'll give you another one. There's another. I was like, nah, these guys are just desperate. And I don't want wahala on my head. Because, like I said, it's a company that is buying the car for the lady. I don't want a situation where I issue with any company chases me up and I just
you didn't
text it
right now. And another thing I saw online was this skit maker, this Kata Efe guy. And then he was complaining about his Benz. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have picked it up. I know Mohammed Legends picked it up. JD Autos picked it up. So first things first, for you to be complaining bitterly about your Benz, there are two things. It might be either you don't have enough money to fund the repairs the way you want to fund it. Now, when I say you don't have money, I'm not saying he's broke.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Kata Efe is broke, but I'm saying it's a mentality thing.
Yeah.
It might be coming from somewhere where it feels like every mechanic or every repair person
is trying to
repair.
Yeah.
So if they tell you something is 200,000, you can say, go work on, go find cheaper one. Just you being smart, thinking that the guy's trying to rip you up, but you're trying to step it down. And they tell you something is 200,000, and I tell him, go and do it for 100K. Then Baba goes, imagine now maybe because he said his car dies. So maybe mechanic has told him, you buy a new Kickstarter at 200K or whatnot, and he's like, no. Go repair am, Joe. Why you be thief? Just commonize the situation. And then that one carries the Kickstarter to maybe some other technician. They open it, they say, well, the brush don't chop, they change brush, they do whatever it is, they couple it back. Oh, they start. But maybe when the Kickstarter, when it's hot, it's not respond or something. I've seen cases like that. So for him, he might be spending money. But the question is he spending enough? And secondly, is he spending money or is his mechanic ripping him off?
Yeah.
There are so many angles to these things.
Yeah.
Then also, what's the history of the car that he bought? Was he a flooded car? Was he a salvage car? Has the car been involved in a terrible accident? What's the mileage of the car? Because it's another ball game to drive a Benz or buy a Benz. And then you buy a Benz, you buy a 250,000 miles Benz. But if you're not willing to do certain repairs, you might never enjoy that Benz.
Yeah, I even think it for German cars once they are exceeding
any car, but you can get away with it with Japanese cars.
Exactly.
But the truth is, once you get to high mileage, there are certain things you need to do. Nigerians don't even train transmission well. It's that bad. So those things are key. Oh, I've been driving this car for 2 years and I've not thought of changing the transmission well. Come on. It will die on you one day for sure. So the questions here for that kind of person is, where have you been maintaining your car? How have you maintained your car? What's even the condition of the car that you are maintaining? Yeah, is it Benz? Is black or whatever color outside? The inside is clean. AC is cold or max cool. Like they say, Benz not spirit. That's kids back then. But bro, is the Benz well? Is it okay?
Exactly.
Do you need a new engine and then you're just managing the one you have? Do you need a new Kickstarter? Are you getting genuine parts? Is it a quack that is fixing it for you? Are you cutting corners?
Yeah.
What kind of oil are you running? Are you buying cheap oil because you feel like oil is oil? Do you even have an understanding of the car itself? Do you understand how it works itself? Have you taken your time out to even read the manual to say, okay, I need to do this at XYZ? Mm-hmm. If you haven't done all of that, that can most likely frustrate you.
Yeah.
Because even the ones that people do all of that, it can still frustrate them.
You. Yeah.
So what is going wrong? So for him, I think his case is very, 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 very peculiar because a lot of people go through similar things. I've heard the story about somebody that burnt his car by himself. He had the Hummer V and he burnt it. I think Hummer 2 or so. I don't know why I said Hummer V. He burnt it because the thing was pissing him off. You spend today and then it doesn't work. So those things, they need to first of all do proper diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Check what are the issues with this car. Go back to the history of the car. What has happened to this car?
Yeah.
Then now start. Okay, now what has happened? Do proper. What have you done?
Mm-hmm.
That thing that you did you buy genuine replacement parts or you just bought knockoff Chinese parts?
That's the thing. I think a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that even when you buy a new part, they still Chinese parts and the
OEM parts. A lot of people don't know this. I was trying to buy brake disc for a car last week and it was getting one. The front was like 700 or 800k, and I think I was telling the owner, and it was like, oh, it's too expensive. I told him, Baba, but you just bought brake disc on this car, and you are complaining of the same issue that you had. Yeah. How much did you buy the brake disc you had on it? I was like, 200k now, and I'm like, oh, so you are willing to let your 100 and something million naira car be running on 200k brakes? Mm-hmm. Are you getting where I'm coming from? It's like, I didn't think about it that way. I'm like, bro, that thing that you bought is fake. For you know, it might even be used. That has died and they just went to you. They can polish metal back to a shine. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are so many things you can do. I said, so you need to think about it very well. And Baba said, thanks, he credited money. He had these brakes changed, original brakes.
Yeah.
But now what I'm saying here is, on that guy's fault, that's Kataife back to what I'm saying. There's something he's doing wrongly, there's something his mechanic is doing wrongly. And cars, I've been to a dealership before. I was in a dealership before where a customer broke their car in, and then they checked the mileage, and they told him that, oh, they can't fix his car anymore because it had gotten to the reckoning stage, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. The guy was pissed. But for him, he was happy that they told him the truth. And this was a dealership here in Lagos, which I felt that wasn't good enough because the car got into 100,000 kilometers. It was a VW. And then they were like, oh, they can't work on it anymore. And I'm like, and I took a car there because we wanted to service, and that one was still like 32k. So in my head, I'm like, So are you telling me that when your cars get to 100k, it's done?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But coming to look at it, those cars, when they start getting to 100k, true, they start to have corners.
Yeah.
And that particular one that I took there at 32k, by the time it got to 100k, the transmission went. Also, I was young at that time. I didn't feel the need to replace transmission oil or to replace transmission filter. So, for every 10k on any car, there is a recommended maintenance you need to do. Yeah. Even 5k self, even 2k self, there's something that you need to do. Even if it's just oil change. Do you know that at some point you're even supposed to change your brake fluid? A lot of people don't know these things. Do a brake flush. I don't think in the history of my life, my father, everybody, I don't think anybody has just gone to the mechanic and say, I want to change brake oil. Mm-hmm. Even power steering oil. I remember when I had a Corolla and I used to change the power steering fluid. And people used to come like, is this guy okay? But I'm like, bro, you need to change it. This guy's already like 8 years old. You've never changed it before. Come on. It's going to pack up. That's why a lot of power steerings pack up.
Debt.
A lot of people never ever change it. So those questions and those things, those due diligence that you have to follow, has he followed them? I don't think so. Is his mechanic doing well? His mechanic, I'm not saying his mechanic is bad. He might be working with a company. I'm not saying it's bad, but there's something that everybody's missing.
Yeah.
Either from the finance part, or either from the parts part, or either from the history of the vehicle, or the age of the vehicle, or the amount of wear and tear on the vehicle. So they need to sit down and review this thing,
exactly.
and then know the way forward. At some point, it might even be better to say, okay, this car, the engine has been overworked. Let's go and find a low mileage and buy.
Yeah.
And solve our problems.
Change the engine.
Okay, the shocks are bad. Let's buy OEM and put it. I'm actually trying to help somebody buy a G63 4x4 shocks. And those shocks are going for like about almost $20,000 for a set. Now, I told him, I said, there are two options. You can either buy those shocks, or we remove your shocks and send them back to the company that manufactured them for repairs. So he's like, he doesn't think he can wait. So he'll buy them. Now, this is somebody that has enough money. Whereas somebody could have also told him, if you carry him, go gas up. And if it's somebody that is not really educated or doesn't really know what he's doing, I say, okay, that one is a cheaper option. Let's do it. It will work for maybe half a day or maybe a week. Just and then back to status quo. It's feeling like shit.
I spent that amount.
Spend that money. It would have been cheap money to him, definitely. But also, even the mechanics come and suggest funny things to the owners, and then the owners take it. Yes, there was somewhere and it was a Toyota Highlander 2012, and the guy was changing the compressor, and I saw the compressor he brought. I'm like, this is not a Toyota compressor. But I saw that the compressor had like a brand new pulley and coil. He said, no, this is correct. I said, this is not how the compressor of this car looks like. But was my own. I just kept quiet and I was okay. The guy fixed it, did everything. Next thing, started engine, put on AC, engine vibrator. And I told him, because you did the wrong thing and you're going to kill this engine for the owner. It's a V6 engine and it's shaking like this when the AC is on. He's like, no. I said, bro, remove that thing. Because what you have just done is you have put excess load on that
engine.
So that's the thing. We just all need to know the right thing to do, and then we'll be good.
I agree. Like when you even mention the part of parts, I know how frustrating it is for you to keep on spending on your car sometimes. It's not like he does not have the money. You actually have the money.
Yeah, he does have.
Your mechanic comes. He says that. And also again, some mechanics, I don't know why they do it. Is it also because of from their own experience, because they've dealt with other customers? Yes. They tell this customer, it's going to cost you 200k for your plugs. You're like 200k plug way now 5k for one. That's 30k. Why am I stressed? Do you understand that the previous guy that changed it and like that? So because of that, some mechanics don't even bother anymore. They just tell you, okay, it's 30k. Because they just want to just do it. And I know some other mechanics out there that see, this is what you are going to spend for OEM. If you want me to buy fake parts, this fake part I have said, you write undertaking.
Yes.
And once you write undertaking and you sign, and you say, okay, I will fix it for you. Go. If it spoils, you cannot come back to me.
Yep.
And start complaining. I told you. So most people do that. And like I remember the time my car was also having some misfire issues, and I think I spoke with you about it. I wanted to get plugs. I was trying to get original plugs. One guy just said, get one plug, 30k plug, just buy them. I said, okay, bring them. They put it. It only worked for 1 month or 2 months. After 2 months, I was back to it again. It was now worse. What is happening? I just said, oh man, I spoke to Auto Baby too. Say, guy, just buy original plugs. So I told you, I spoke to you now, and you told me where to buy it from, and I just ordered. Yes, it cost me a lot of money. But after getting it till today, I'm not experiencing that again. And that's one thing about German cars. Japanese cars can handle all this rugged, but German car will not forgive you. It will not. So when it comes to Benz, BMW, Audis, like, and the likes, like,
Right.
they will always show you shaggy. There's no way you can escape it. So
always listen to your mechanics and always do your due diligence. That's what I would advise people to do. So if you're out there, if you have an issue with your car, the mechanic comes to tell you, oh, this is what's wrong with your car, right? Listen to the mechanic. Say, okay, I've heard you. If you don't know anything about it, ask around. If you trust your mechanic so much, tell him to go ahead and fix it. Now, if you feel confused, go online and just check and just to be sure that he's not making a mistake, because he's human. And then, from there, now even I've seen cases where somebody will tell me, oh, a part is 200,000, and in my head I'm like, I think I know this thing is fake. He might not even know that it's fake. So just ask him, are you sure? We confirm that it's original that you are giving me. And then if he says so, okay, fine, buy it. Though some China parts work as good as OEM parts, and some you always feel the difference. But you just do your due diligence and make sure that whoever is fixing your car is doing the right thing. But in Kata Efe's case again, it might just be fate, where he's the spoil of war. Whoever used the car before abroad had robbed the car and all of that. So you never can tell. His mechanic might have actually been doing a great job. So even have gotten the car to that point where, okay, the car is okay. But there's still one or two things to address. So he has also spent a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we need to know that it's not just by spending money. It's by also paying attention to the car. You might spend money, you might buy brand new shocks today, but then how are you driving the car? Are you just speeding in potholes and all of that? So you have a responsibility. The mechanic has a responsibility. So it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
And then if you have a driver, you need to warn your driver, because those ones is another ballgame entirely. We have a day to speak about Nigerian drivers.
Man, those guys.
Like employed drivers that all they do is drive. I've seen things that those guys do and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, as long as know they're out there.
But I guess next week or next episode, we will talk more about maybe drivers or something. Also, you are free to tell us in the comments if what you would like us to speak about. I think that will also help us get to you and touch base with certain things.
Yeah. And again, concerning this conversation, let us know your thoughts, what you think about it, about, first of all, when getting cars, if you've had experience about getting an accidental car that you didn't know, and also about mechanics and all of that. Just let us know your view. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the like button.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks, guys. All right, peace out.